Hey guys, how are you doing? This is attempt number 4 at making the video. Quattro. 4. Yeah, not really yeah, I never get a video done in one take. It's very rare. But either way, let's get started. Hope you guys have had a great weekend. Happy Monday. Not really, but, because I had work today. It's from 7 to 9:30. Fun. Well, 7 to 10, technically. Double fun, considering the fact I had to wake up at 5:30 in the morning. So, woo! So let's get started with the review of Batman Under the Red Hood. Just letting you guys know before I get started with the review that my solely Harry Potter lists are done. I did that just to kind of commemorate the end of Harry Potter. I did it and they're done. So my lists of 7, lists of 5, lists of 8, list of 10, whatever, how big the lists are going to be, they're going to be much more smaller, much more condensed. So, I'm just letting you guys know this is the review I was supposed to do last week, but I switched it with Harry Potter because I felt it was more poignant to do the review of Harry Potter at that point. So, let's get started with Batman Under the Red Hood. So, Batman Under the Red Hood is an animated film from the DC animated universe. Essentially, DC Comics sort of created like this wing of itself that sole purpose is to take like the graphic novels or comic books of their beloved characters, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Justice League, that sort of thing, and animate them to their own styles and their own likings. So the first one was Batman Gotham Knight, which was kind of released in conjunction with the Dark Knight, with the release of the Dark Knight a few years ago, and Superman Doomsday. So what they've done here for Batman Under the Red Hood, it combines the storylines of Batman: A Death in the Family and Batman Under the Red Hood. Under the Hood, sorry. So essentially, The Death in the Family is about the death of Jason Todd, who was the second Robin. And this is sort of where the movie kind of picks up. So the movie picks up about 5 years after the death of Jason Todd, who was the second Robin, like I said before. He was killed at the hands of the Joker, who was hired by Ra's al Ghul to distract Batman from one of his master schemes. So after his death, like about 5 years afterwards, a mysterious vigilante called the Red Hood makes his way to Gotham, taking its entire drug cartel, which up until the point of the movie was under the control of the Black Mask. He takes it and just begins his control of the entire drug cartel. So the Red Hood is, provides a challenge to Gotham's chief vigilante, which is, as we know, the Batman. As he not only knows Batman's move, or has Batman's moves and abilities and stuff like that, but also the means to stop him, like cords to specifically cut his, his cables and all that sort of thing. So, Batman takes it upon himself to go on a mission to not only stop the Red Hood, but to determine who he is. Like I said, the storyline is based off 2 Batman stories, The Death in the Family and Under the Hood. So, here's what the good things about the Red Hood are. So, like the previous Batman animated movies, with the exception of Gotham Knight and the most recent ones where he collabs with Superman and stuff like that. I haven't seen those yet. Red Hood is not tied to the original and acclaimed animated Batman series in the 90s, which I love. It's probably my favorite cartoon as a kid. Was my favorite cartoon as a kid, and I could still watch it now. I'm not saying it's bad, but because it was a kids' cartoon, it was directed towards kids, obviously they couldn't get away with a lot of things. Here, because since it's its own separate entity, they're allowed to. So this is much more grittier, much more violent. People die and swear and stuff you really didn't see in the animated Batman from the 90s. And it's much more grittier, much more dark, which is kind of cool also, So, and they kind of brings out the final confrontation between the Red Hood and Batman, and the climax is it's very gritty, close quarters combat, punches, kicks, it's a very gritty fight sequence, and it's kind of highlights the fact that this film is much grittier than before, Another thing that was really good about the Red Hood was the voice performances. Granted, there's no Kevin Conroy this time as Batman, or Mark Hamill's the Joker, except they're replaced by Bruce Greenwood, who, if you guys don't know, he played Captain Pike in the new Star Trek movie, and John DiMaggio, who is a voice actor who's, probably his most famous role is Bender in Futurama. And, they had big shoes to fill, I'll admit. I was like, okay, this is going to be weird not seeing Batman animated with Kevin Conroy or Mark Hamill doing the voice work. I was like, whoa, this is, But they do a really good job. I mean, they pay homage to Kevin Conroy, Mark Hamill, I feel, through their performances, but yet are able to add something extra into the mix, able to put their own twist on the character and on the voice performance, and it's perfect. You know, they do a really good job. Not as good as Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill, but pretty damn close. And one thing is, it's a kind of really personal movie because, you know, in my opinion, like, the best Batman stories are the ones that deal with his own personal demons. So what made, like, the first Batman movie great, what made Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and even The Mask of Phantasm, what made them such great Batman movies, is that we see Batman, you know, being haunted by his personal demons, whether because of the death of his parents, his failure to protect someone, his failure to stop something, how it comes back to haunt him, you know, or his failure as a human being, you know, it comes back to haunt him, and he's affected by that. And it's, you know, it kind of makes Batman, you know, Batman's one of the few actual human superheroes in the DC universe, and to see him be human is you know, kind of, you know, relatable and very fantastic on their part. So one thing that's also really good about it is the art design. If you guys remember from the animated series and the first two Batman movies, they had sort of this Art Deco design, where it had this like really like 1930s, 1940s feel. Like the cars like 1930s, 1940s. There was blimps. There was all this sort of stuff that gave it that design. And it's really like kind of cool to see. It was pleasant to see Batman in a much more like 21st century setting. You know, and I thought that was really cool of them to do that. You know, while I do enjoy the Art Deco of Tim Burton and, you know, Bruce Timm's animated universe and stuff like that, it was just a really pleasant surprise to see, especially since we've been seeing now Batman in the 21st century, you know, in the most recent Batman movies. So, however, like, Under the Red Hood isn't perfect, and one of the things that really bothered me about the Red Hood was that one of the most fascinating things about the superhero mythologies and the superhero stories is sort of the duality between the superhero and the secret identity, you know, the whole concept of secret identity, essentially. And, you know, and how they try to balance their lives between, you know, who they are, balance their lives between being a superhero and trying to be a normal human being. And Batman is one of the most fascinating cases of that, you know, because it's a question of who is the man and who is the mask. Is Bruce Wayne the person and Batman the mask, or is Batman the person and Bruce Wayne the mask? So it's, you know, it's that kind of thing that makes Batman psychologically a fascinating superhero, you know, that way. And it's kind of unfortunate that in this entire movie he spends his entire time as Batman. So we really don't get that insight into his psyche and that much insight. We do get insight into his psyche, but we don't get that dual nature of his character that makes Batman so fascinating, you know? And it's kind of a shame that they had to leave that they left that out, and I thought it would have enhanced the story anyway. Overall, though, Under the Red Hood is excellent. It's a really good, you know, animated feature. I think it has to be a must-watch for every Batman fan, you know? And I think you guys would really, you know, I really recommend it, you know? It's perfect. Not perfect, but great. So, alright guys, that's pretty much it. Next week, I'm doing my review of The Bourne Identity, since I started watching the Bourne movies recently. Yeah, I know, I've been living under the rock for the past decade. I know. So, yeah, and my next list of fives, list of sevens, I don't know yet exactly. I still gotta iron out a few ideas. I have ideas brainstormed in my head, but I'll let you guys know what it's gonna be. So, alright, talk to you later. And before that, you know, I want you guys, you know, at the end, you know, leave a comment. What did you think of Batman Under the Red Hood? Would you recommend any other movies from the DC animated universe? If so, why would you recommend them? Do you think Batman Under the Red Hood was good, bad? Name your favorite, or simple, and also, what is your favorite Batman movie, you know? Put that there below. And I want to see what you guys think, because I really value you guys' opinion a lot. So, alright, that's pretty much it. I'll talk to you later. Peace.